Alright, today we are going to be looking at CSS shapes, and I'm going to show you how to create 4 triangles that are facing different directions using only CSS to create those shapes. So to start out, I just have 4 empty divs to create my 4 triangles in. We're going to make a triangle that's pointing up, down, left, and right. So let's go ahead and get started and take a look at how we can do that, again using only our CSS markup. Hey, so I have the first rule set right here commented out, so it's not going to pop up quite yet. I've just set my width and height of that div to 0, and all we're going to do is kind of force the shape using borders. So for triangles pointing up and down, you're going to want to have left and right borders. You can choose the sizes you want, but the left and right should be half of whatever your other one is. So I have 50 pixels, and these borders are both going to be transparent. It's going to create that space in there. And we're going to kind of force the shape to be created by pushing a border up from the bottom that is 100 pixels or twice that size in a color of your choice. So I'm doing it red. Let's go ahead and comment it out and see what happens. As you can see, now we have that nice little triangle shape. Again, we have borders that are from the left and the right that kind of created that space right here. And then when we put this border on the bottom that was 100 pixels, which would be the whole size of this, it pushes up into it and creates that nice triangle shape. To make it maybe a little easier for you to see what's happening, I'll change the borders on the left and right to blue. And you can see now a little bit easier in this div, we have 2 borders that are 50 pixels of blue that have pushed in from the left and the right. And all we did was force our shape by forcing a border that was twice as big coming up from the bottom, and it made that nice triangle shape. Alright, okay, now all we're going to do is create the same triangle shape. Let me change these back to transparent. We're going to create those same triangle shapes using similar blocks of code. So I'm going to copy and paste this, and we'll play with the borders a bit to change the direction the top of the triangle is pointing. So let's select the next div, which is triangle down. Alright, so we're going to do the same kind of thing. We want the borders left and right to be transparent to create kind of that little space in there. But instead of our border pushing up from the bottom, we're going to change that to pushing down from the top. And you can see we have that same triangle shape, but now it is pointing down. Easy peasy. The next 2 are a little bit different because they will be facing left and right. So I have a block of code right here. It is very close though. So instead of doing left and right to create the space with those transparent borders, now we're going to be using top and bottom borders to create that little space in there. And we'll be pushing our colored triangle in from the right. That will make our triangle point to the left. Okay, and you can see right there that now we have our triangle that points to the left. We can change that again right here, and we can take a look at that. It's the same idea. The top and bottom borders have filled and created this little space in the div of 50 pixels and 50 pixels. And then we'll push a border that is twice as big, going all the way this way from the right that is 100 pixels, and as it cuts into there, it creates that little shape. Okay, to create the triangle that is pointing to the left, same type of thing we did. Instead of coming from the right, I'm going to copy and paste that. Instead of the border coming from the right, select our div. We want a triangle that's pointing right. So instead of the border coming from the right, we're going to actually have it come from the left. And now you can see we have that same triangle shape, and now it is pointing to the right. So that is how to create some basic triangle shapes with only CSS into an empty div. You can use any element on the HTML. You can play with the sizes, colors of the triangle shapes themselves, but that is the basic idea of how you can create triangles pointing different directions using only the CSS markup. Thank you for watching.